When you sit down at the piano to practice, a good warm-up routine can make all the difference for you as an adult pianist. It not only helps the hands and the fingers, but it also helps focus your mind and gets you into that music-making frame of mind. So what I'd like to do in this video is share with you a gentle, effective 10 to 15 minute warm-up routine. This is one that I often recommend for adult beginners or adult returning piano students. And this is a routine that I still use myself. So you could even call this my personal warm-up routine. Now, I don't do all of these exercises every time, but I use many of these to help warm up my fingers. It helps keep things musical, purposeful, and I hope frustration-free. So I encourage you, take these exercises slowly at first. Don't strain yourself. Try to stay relaxed. Anyway, I'll talk more about it as we switch to the overhead camera. And I'll show you these exercises in my own personal warm-up routine. The first thing you want to do as you're sitting at the piano, or in this case at the keyboard, is make sure that you're sitting up straight. You don't want to be slouching at the piano. And then you want to shake out your hands very gently. Now, normally you would do this with your hands down by your side, giving them a very gentle shake. This kind of gets the blood flowing. And wiggle your fingers a little bit. Just get them moving. And then we're going to start with a very simple 5-finger pattern. We're going to start here on middle C, and we're going to play 5 notes up, 5 notes down. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Or you can play it this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to start one hand at a time. What you're looking for is an even tone, a steady rhythm. Your fingers are curved and relaxed. And then you can do the left hand. So notice how all the notes are of equal volume. And I'm not playing super loud or super soft, just naturally. And then we can play both hands together. And then we can play the same pattern, but just a little bit faster. But you never want to try and play too fast, because then your playing might become uneven and tension might begin to creep in. We always want to stay relaxed. So you can do this for maybe 1-2 minutes. And then the second exercise is where we have some skips. So we're playing 1, 3, 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 2, 3, 1. Same thing, we're looking for even tone and steady rhythm. This one, of course, makes you think a little bit more because it's not just up and down, but we've got some skips going on here. So in the left hand, it's 5, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, 3, 5. And then the right hand. This next warm-up exercise will take you up and down the keyboard a lot more. I'm going to start here, and I may have demonstrated this in an earlier video, but I'm going to do it again because I think it's a very good warm-up. We're going to walk up the keyboard, right now just using 1 and 2. And then come back down, only using 1 and 2. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. And then later on, as you become more confident with this exercise, you can speed it up a little bit and go all the way up 2 octaves. And then coming back down. Right now we're just using these 2 fingers. Same thing in the left hand, only this time we're going to go down first and then up. And then back up. I think I went up a little too high there the first time. It doesn't really matter. But you can probably see where I'm going with this. The next time we go through it, we're going to use 2 and 3. Once again, we want to keep the tone even, keep the rhythm steady, keep your fingers curved and relaxed. Now, this exercise gets progressively more challenging as we go because now we're going to use fingers 3 and 4. This can be more of a challenge because the ring finger, as you know, if you've been studying the piano any length of time, you know the ring finger is a little more difficult to control. So you may have to go very slowly now. See, even I have a little trouble with it. Let's try it with the left hand. A little bit slower. The left hand can even be harder than the right. All right, now comes the ultimate challenge. We're going to use fingers 4 and 5. We're going to get those fingers that aren't used to doing so much work, doing all the work at this point. You may have to play this really slow in order to get it. And then, if you really want a challenge, you can play both hands going in opposite directions. I must admit, this does not make for beautiful music, but it does help warm up those fingers. I've talked a little bit about the Hanon exercises. We can use the first 5-finger exercise as a good warm-up. Basically, this pattern just keeps repeating, and so on. And then the left hand, what we're going to do, if you look at the Hanon book, by the way, you'll notice that both hands are required to play together. And I'm not a big fan of this in particular. However, we could play the left hand as a mirror image of the right, because let's face it, our hands are mirror images of each other. So it makes more sense to have the left hand doing exactly the same thing as the right hand. Same fingers, same pattern, only here in the left hand, we're going down at first. Once again, looking for that even tone, steady rhythm, fingers curved and relaxed, and so on. When it gets to the point where you get really advanced, you can play them together. However, don't feel like you have to do that right away. Now, if that's too difficult, if you're having trouble with that, then go back to the 5-finger pattern. This way, both of your hands are doing the exact same thing. One of the goals of technique is to get our left hand to the point where it can do almost anything that the right hand can do. You'll find that the greatest pianists in the world, their left hands are pretty much equal with the right. Now, of course, as you're getting started, that left hand is going to feel like it's lagging behind, and that's okay. It just takes perseverance. You got to keep at it. But you got to start small. You got to start slow. Speaking of slow, one thing I forgot to mention with the 5-finger pattern is that once you become comfortable playing it all on the white keys, you can try it in different keys. Of course, G is going to feel very much the same, but if you play it in F, for example, now you have a black key to contend with. And of course, with the left hand, that black key is going to land on a different finger. Or play it this way. As you can see, there are infinite variations that you can do with these exercises. I must remind you also at this point, remember, I don't necessarily do all of these exercises every time I warm up at the keyboard. I select a few of them. I usually start with this one, and you get to the point where you're playing it very rapidly, so you are working up to a faster speed. But you always got to start out slow. This is an exercise that Vladimir Horowitz, the great pianist, has done, or used to do, I should say, is we play through our scales, one octave up and down very slowly. One hand at a time, by the way. And so the left hand, you can play it. You can see that fingering there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, crossover. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, crossover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 3, 2, 1, crossover. 3, 2, 1. But the challenge in this warm-up exercise is to pick a few other scales. So, for example, you could do G. Now your fourth finger lands on the black note, on F sharp. Fingering is very much the same, though. You do eventually want to work your way through all the keys, both major and minor. I'm just demonstrating a few of the major keys here. Otherwise, this video becomes very long. We start on 2 in D flat, and then cross over. You could end up on 3 or 2. Starting on 3 in the left hand. Now we want to work with arpeggios. So you start by playing a simple C major chord, but use these 3 fingers. Normally you'd play it maybe like this with 1, 3, and 5. But now we're going to play it with 1, 2, 3. Why? Because we're going to play it one note at a time. So we play the arpeggio, the broken chord, C, E, G, C, G, E, C. Man, I have a hard time singing and playing and talking at the same time. And then in the left hand, we're going to mirror the image, same fingering, but now there's going to be a little bit more of a stretch between 1 and 2. So the fingering in the left hand is definitely different. And then you can try it in some different keys. You can just work your way up all the different keys. Or you can play it in mirror image. And as always, we're looking for that even tone, steady rhythm, fingers curved and relaxed. Now later on, you can use different rhythms when you play these exercises. But for now, we're just going to keep it simple. So that's just a few of the exercises that I personally use to warm up my fingers. I think you can use these. It doesn't matter if you are just starting out on piano or if you've been playing a while. I think these are very effective warm-up exercises that you can use to help you get into the music-making mindset and help your fingers move more easily. Thanks for watching. I hope that you have found this helpful. Obviously, there are many more technical exercises that I have demonstrated in the playlist that I've linked below, and even some that are even more difficult than I have ever demonstrated on this channel, and perhaps we'll get to those at some point in the future. So don't worry about those, but just concentrate on these simple exercises, and I believe they will be of tremendous help to you. If you have any questions or comments, please be sure to leave those in the comment section. Once again, check out the other videos on the playlist that is linked below, and you'll probably see it here somewhere on the screen. I can never remember where it's going to be, but you can click on that and go right to the playlist with more technical exercises to help you play with greater, and there's this word again, fluidity. I look forward to speaking to you in the next one.